This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan, Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in StatCam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Nearly $200,000 in loans will help a Schuylkill County garment factory to move, grow, and put more people to work. As Newswatch 16 broadcasting team reports, Gen D in Frankville is doing well in an industry that's having trouble nationwide.
The loans mean Gen D Manufacturing will move into this abandoned curtain plant in Mahanoy City. Gen D, a company based out of New York, runs this unionized garment plant in Frankville.
We're looking forward to having a little room, elbow room in a place. We're too crowded here, and we're hoping to hire the people as soon as we get there.
The company plans enough expansion that as many as 100 new workers may be hired.
Over 3 years ago, the plant had been shut down for several months. Then new ownership took over here. But at that time, there were only about 20 sewing machine operators working inside the plant.
Sully Lorisevich was one of them. He and her co-workers are surprised at how the operation has expanded.
Times today is as hard as a lot of factories aren't working where we have steady work all the time. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more work for a lot of girls in the other area that are not working and that haven't been working for a long time.
Those recently hired found themselves in a stable garment factory with steady work. Martha Petrusky saw 2 other shops she worked in close.
Both were in one factory and another factory was dress. And lingerie seems to be doing so well. So I guess that's the whole reason for it. American lingerie.
Bob Johnson, TV Newswatch 16, Frankville.
For the 5th straight year at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport, a special party and landing site for the most famous personality this month. The party, sponsored by the businessmen and employees at the airport, was for disadvantaged and handicapped youngsters. And when the famous personality arrived, by airplane, of course, the youngsters from Friendship House, Keystone Residences, St. Joseph Center, and United Neighborhood Center became reacquainted with Santa Claus. St. Nick had gifts for each one of the over 120 young people at the airport today.
This time of year, most communities around here decorate the streets with holiday ornaments and street lights.
But in Dunmore, they're doing something a little different to light up the neighborhood, and you see it behind us here. Newswatch 16's Mark Annick is live there, and it's a pretty sight. Right, Mark?
Nolan, it really is. They are called sand candles, a white paper bag, a little bit of sand in the bottom to keep it in place, and a candle. Now, traditionally, people around this area light these candles and put them out on Christmas Eve to light the way for the Christ child. Of course, that doesn't happen for another week or so. But here in Dunmore, they are lighting up about 4 blocks of Greenridge Street tonight to light the way for the Christmas spirit. It's all part of a Christmas project put on by the 6th Ward Civic Association here. They've lit up 4 blocks. Santa Claus is out here handing out candy and all sorts of treats. A little while later on, around 7:30 tonight, the Dunmore High School Choir will be out here singing some Christmas carols. So the Civic Association invites you down to the corner of Blakely Street and Greenridge in Dunmore if you'd like to stop by a little while later on. As I said, they'll have the caroling. Santa Claus is here. If you're a good kid, you might just get a treat. And you can stop by and look at these 4 blocks lit up and get in the Christmas spirit, just like we did. I'm Mark Annick, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam in Dunmore.
Okay, bring the spirit back with you, will you?
I will.
Thanks, Mark.
And we are very spirited because now it's our official time to welcome on the Weather Watch, the gentleman who is in for Tom Clark tonight, our meteorologist, Brian Izette.
I know, we haven't been able to work with you yet, so welcome, Brian.
It's a pleasure to work with the both of you. I'm going to enjoy it today. I think we should be counting our blessings today. We narrowly missed a big snowstorm. Big storm formed off the coast, but too far to our northeast to give us any important snowfall. And I'll be back in the Weather Watch to tell you if there's any snow in the forecast. You're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP TV, and we're proud to serve Courtdale in all of Luzerne County. Burlington Coat Factory. What a great place for men's clothing, too. Everyone knows Burlington is the place to go for raincoats and outerwear, but their men's clothing and furnishings are terrific. They have the same name brands, the same quality as the finest stores, but Burlington's prices are lower. Do you shirts, sweaters, slacks, sport jackets, warm-up suits with the famous labels, and savings that are hard to beat. Burlington Coat Factory. It's a lot more than just coats.
Here's Joe Amato, top fuel champion and president of A&A Auto Parts Store.
Riding my top gear drag that speeds up to 270 miles per hour, I lay my life on the line. I need the best name brand parts available, so I rely on A&E Auto Parts stores for the highest quality parts at the lowest prices.
Now Delco quality costs less. Maintenance-free Delco Freedom batteries starting at $39.95.
A&E Auto Parts. If I can rely on them, so can you.
Visit the A&A Auto Parts store near you.
Students at one area high school were really thinking big when it came to holiday decorating this year. Usually students at Wyoming Valley West High School in Plymouth just decorate their home rooms. This year, all the windows that you see here on the school concourse, each class of the school took one floor of the building. After judging by a faculty and student committee, the Wyoming Valley West sophomore class won first place for their fourth floor decorations on a Santa with reindeer and sleigh theme. Happy holidays.
Some nice artists there at Valley West. Well, Brian Orzo, a lot of people have to go shopping this weekend, finish up for Christmas, so how's it going to be?
Well, I don't see any major problems. I'll talk about how much sunshine we're going to see this weekend in a moment. First, let's check with the weather watchers. Our first stop is out in Carbon County. And in Weatherly, Frank Slezak reports 31 degrees and cloudy skies. And Karen Hauser in State College tells me there's a brisk wind, cloudy skies, and 32 degrees. And Jerry Schiappa up there in Southside reports 36 degrees and cloudy skies. Our holiday house tonight comes to us courtesy of Todd and Bob McMahon. RD9, Mountaintop. Nice layout for those blinking lights really make for a good show right there. 34 degrees in the backyard right now. 60% humidity. Winds are northwest of 10, making it feel like about 20 degrees outside. And the barometer is slowly rising from 30 inches even. Not a very big range in temperature today. 38 for the high and 34 for the low. That's because we had a lot of clouds hanging around the last 24 hours. Normals are 35 and 22, 10 degrees below zero. The record low 1 year ago today, we had cold temperatures and 19 degrees. I'd like to start off with a satellite sequence. We'll turn the clock back 24 hours and put the clouds into motion to show that big storm developing off the East Coast. You can see it forming right here, moving slowly to the northeast. Here it is right there, moving slowly off to the northeast. 30 inches of snow on the ground at Wilmington, Vermont is the most I could find. 12 inches as close to us as Glens Falls, New York. Behind the storm, strong winds behind it. 69-mile-per-hour winds clock at Nantucket this afternoon. Brisk winds across northeastern Pennsylvania today with gusts up to 30, but they are diminishing. Some flurries across the northern counties of Pennsylvania may skirt the northern border of the state, with a few snow flurries this evening, but I don't foresee any accumulation. Across the rest of the country, there's that big storm way off to the east. Clouds diving down from the northwest. Cold air behind it, but no bitter cold air. Just seasonably cold for Sunday and Monday as this cold front sweeps down from the north. But I think this cold front will keep us from seeing much sun tomorrow. We will see a few peaks of sun, but I think Sunday will be the nicer day this weekend. The only rain across the country, the only bad weather, I should say, beside that storm in the northeast, and rain across the Gulf states and some rain across northern California. This high-pressure area will move in over the next couple of days. So here's what the tonight's forecast looks like then. We'll have a slow breakup in the clouds tonight after midnight, after a few early flakes across the northern counties of the viewing area. 24 degrees for a low in Forest City, 26 in Fallbrook. Winds will be northwest at about 10 miles per hour. Dundor coming in with 28. Orfield with a low temperature of 30 degrees tonight. Here's the 5-day forecast. Looks like then we'll have a slow clearing trend tonight. 28 degrees for the low. Some sunshine tomorrow, especially during the afternoon. High only 36. Sunny on Sunday. Not a bad day at all. 35 degrees. Nice weather to go out and shop. Partly sunny both Monday and Tuesday. Karen and Nolan, I don't see any big storms coming over the next few days. So really no chance of snow. I know it's only 5 days till Christmas Eve, but it doesn't look like there's a very big chance of any snow before Tuesday.
Maybe not a white Christmas then.
Maybe not.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
Jim Carlson is next with the Sports Watch. Tonight, a surprise Christmas present for former boxing champion Witherspoon.
Plus, a big holiday basketball tournament ready to go at the University of Scranton. When we first introduced Stag's Gourmet Blend Dry Cat Food, we submitted it to a panel of experts for testing. And we outfitted the national brands tested 2 to 1. Cats really go for Gourmet Blend seafood, liver, and chicken flavors. And you'll love it because Gourmet Blends are 30% lower in ash content than other leading brands. to keep your cat healthy. Serve Dad's gourmet blend to your little gourmet. If you're not satisfied, I'll buy the package back.
Shop Packard Outlet for men's clothing and accessories, men's suits, sport coats and slacks, fine outerwear and tuxedos. You wouldn't think men's clothing of such high caliber could sell at such low prices, but it does at Packard Outlet. Imagine, suits sold in national stores for $180 are only $79.90 at Packard Outlet. This quality men's clothing at incredibly low prices. For the greatest buys on men's clothing, shop Packard Outlet, 501 Wyoming Avenue, Scranton, Route 6 Diamond, and Scoopville Mall, Platteville.
It's a fine night for area basketball fans, right, Tim?
A lot of holiday hoops going on this time of the year, of course, Nolan, and we are very fortunate to have some good Division II and III college basketball programs in this area. Two of those teams will be participating in the University of Scranton annual holiday basketball tournament. Albie Oxenrider is live at the John Long Center in Scranton to tell us about the two area teams in this tournament. Albie?
If things work out, we could have a big game tomorrow night in the championship with Scranton against Bloomsburg. That'll be good for local basketball. But before we can worry about the championship tomorrow night, there's two preliminary games tonight. At 7 o'clock, it'll be Cabrini against Bloomsburg. And then at 9, the University of Scranton will play Binghamton. There's no question about it. Any of the four teams are capable of winning this tournament. First is Bob Beswire's 5-2 Scranton Royals. They've won 4 games in a row. And they've done it with solid outside shooting. With a team field goal percentage of almost 51%, it's the best shooting team for the Royals in a long while. Junior forward John Paul Andreco leads Scranton with 17.4 points a game. Bloomsburg comes into this tournament with a record of only 4-3, but the Huskies are a young team. The only senior on the roster is Greg Thomas, but he's still recovering from a bad knee and won't even start. Sophomore Bill Conley leads the team in scoring with a 14.3 average, while former Northwest standout Joe Stepanski and freshman Johnny Williams are both in double-figure scoring per game. And the third team is Binghamton, and the fourth team, the surprising team of the bunch, Cabrini. They're 6-1, only one loss, and that loss is a 1-point loss to Millersville at Millersville. With me now is the coach of Cabrini, John Zook. Are you surprised at the success of your team so far?
No, I guess we expected to be where we were at this point in time. Certainly the game with Millersville has been one that we're very proud of because they have a very fine Division II program. But 6-1 is where we expected to be.
Your first appearance in this tournament, you had Bloomsburg to open up at 7 o'clock. You ready for that?
Well, we're never too happy when we have to play Division II, us being a Division III institution, but we'll take our chances.
Makes your team better, maybe.
We hope so.
Okay, John Zook, the coach at Cabrini. They will open up at Bloomsburg in a few minutes. We'll roll highlights of both games tonight at 11 o'clock. Albie Oxenrider, Sports Watch 16, live at the Instacam at the University of Scranton's John Long Center.
All right, Albie, thanks a lot. In the category, I feel a major lawsuit coming up soon. The New York State Athletic Commission announced this afternoon that the pre- and post-game drug tests on former WBA heavyweight champion Tim Witherspoon were actually negative and not positive, as reported earlier this week. Last Friday night, Witherspoon was knocked down 3 times in the first round of the WBA heavyweight title fight and lost to James Bone Crusher Smith. 4 days later, the word came out that Witherspoon had tested positive for marijuana in his system both before and after the fight. Witherspoon said all along that he did not use marijuana and hasn't since testing positive for the drug following his win over Tony Tubbs for the WBA title back in January. The New York State Athletic Commission called Witherspoon today, apologizing for the problem with this most recent drug test, saying it was a critical clerical error, listing the result as positive instead of negative. I wonder if Witherspoon has called his lawyer yet. I'm positive. Not negative, he has, or the other way around. By the way, there's been no deal between Jack Morris and the Yankees. The deal is off. I'm sorry, Yankee fans, they just weren't able to come to any kind of agreement. And one other thing, Jordan Colbert, the owner of the main franchise, AAA franchise, has now countersued the Scranton people, the people that own the AAA baseball club here, and he's consolidated. He's suing for $4 million in damages because of the lawsuit of the baseball team that was supposed to come to Northeast Pennsylvania. So that's an interesting situation, but it really is just part of the process that's going on. In February, there should be a decision on whether that team will come here or stay in Maine. We'll see you later. Okay.
Thanks, Tim. Go ahead, sharing the joy of the holiday season.
You'll see state police officers who have worked long and hard get their reward. This is a beer that's everything a fine imported beer ought to be. It's brewed with all natural ingredients, the way fine imported beers are brewed. Bottled in tall green glass, the way fine imported beers are bottled. This is Roll Rock Premium Beer, brewed by the Latrobe Brewing Company, and imported in bottles and cans from Latrobe, PA. Full Bounty Genesee 12-horse ale tastes imported, but it's America's own. And with a holiday gift pack, you not only get ale as good as gold, but the tin, too.
Finally tonight, Santa Claus arrived early today for hundreds of good little girls and boys in Northumberland County. You may remember we told you about the Gifts for Kids program that state troopers in Shamokin started a couple of months ago. New toys are donated by the manufacturers to be given out to deserving kids all year round. As Newswatch 15's Melissa Sander reports, it paid off today.
A truckload of dolls, radios, games, and robots, all gifts from the state police to needy children. Enough presents to create a toy haven. Enough to overwhelm a child who doesn't have much. What are you going to do? More toys? Yeah. This was an early start on Christmas for more than 500 Sunbury youngsters to make sure it will be a merrier holiday. This isn't just special because kids get to run wild in a toy store. For a lot of these children, these are the only toys they'll get this Christmas. And if it means a lot to the kids, it means even more to their parents.
Some people can't afford everything like other people can, you know, and there's hardly any jobs, so it helps out all the way around.
This does help a lot. Gives them that extra special feeling that there's a lot of nice people out here that care. That is just what the state police want to hear.
We want people to know that we have hearts and that we feel good about what we're doing, and we have a job to do, but this is a part of it.
And in giving comes a warm feeling, and the gift of seeing the child smiling and happy. Melissa Sander, Newswatch 15, Sunbury.
Nice.
And that is Newswatch 15 for tonight.
Be sure to join us tonight on the update when we will be meeting with some businessmen in our area who have their hopes riding on plans for a new railroad.
World News Tonight is next with the ABC Person of the Week.
For the team, thank you for joining us.
Enjoy your evening.
When you see news in the making, Newswatch 15 wants to hear from you. Call 1-800-533-NEWS. Toll free from anywhere in Pennsylvania. Call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 1-800-533-NEWS.